Hi there, I hope you are faring well by God's grace. Today we are going to look at a couple of things in numeracy. And today our strand and substrand remain the same, that is algebra and algebraic expressions. So today we are going to basically solve algebraic expressions for perimeter of shapes. Now when we talk about perimeter simply means the path or the distance around a two-dimensional shape. The distance or path around a two-dimensional shape. I believe you are clear with it. Now when we talk about a two-dimensional shape is a flat plane figure or shape that has two dimensions, and these two dimensions are length and width. So let's quickly look at this over here. Quite examples of two-dimensional shapes or figures or 2D shapes. Now we have a square, a rectangle, and then a triangle. So these are examples of two-dimensional shapes. That way they have only what's length and then what's the width. So they comprise two dimensions. Okay, unlike the 3D shape. So this is an example of a two-dimensional shape. It's a flat plane figure or shape that has two dimensions, or that has length and width. Okay, so this is a triangle, and then this is what? A rectangle. Good. All right, so I would like to use this privilege to as well look at the three-dimensional shape so that you can know the difference. Okay, so a three-dimensional solid shape or object, okay, is a solid figure or object that has three dimensions, and these three dimensions are length, width, and height. So as you can see, these are quite examples of three dimensional objects. Okay, we have the rectangular prism, we have the cube, and then the pyramid. Okay, a cube and then a pyramid, a rectangular prism, a cube, and then a pyramid. I hope you can see that. All right, so they have height, length, and then width. Okay, so these make them a three-dimensional objects. All right, so but basically we are looking at a perimeter. Okay, so we said a perimeter is the path or distance or the boundary around a two-dimensional object. Okay, so let me quickly show you an example of a three-dimensional object, a real object over here. So this is the length. Okay, the length, we have the length, and then we have the height of it. Okay, this is the height of the whole object, the height, and then we have the width as well, the width. Okay, the width, the length, and then the height. All right, so as I was saying, that we're looking at perimeter, and perimeter moves without a two-dimensional object. Okay, the path around a two-dimensional object. I hope you are clear with it. Very good. Now let's quickly look at our central idea for today's lesson. That is, we're going to solve algebraic expressions for perimeter of shapes. But before we look at that, let's look at these algebraic expressions that we have here: 2x plus 3x, 2y plus y, a plus a, 5 plus y, 2a plus b, 6x minus 2x, 5y minus 3. In our previous lesson, we said that in algebra, letters are used to stand for numbers. So when letters are used to stand for numbers, they are called variables. So as you can see, the letters over here are called variables in algebra. But when you take the number, okay, number in algebra, they are, for instance, when the number is on its own, it is called constant. Okay, it is a constant term. In other words, the value of that number does not change, it remains the same, but the variables, their values what change. Okay, they change, they vary, they change. Now let's move on. So we have 2x plus 3x. Now 2x over here, as we learned last week, it means what? 2 times x. We don't normally use the division sign and then multiplication sign in algebra. So when you see something of this sort, it means what? The number is multiplying what? The variable. Okay, so 2x means what? 2 times x, and then we have what? 3x. So 2x plus 3x will give us what? 5x. 2x plus 3x will give us what? 5x. You know, the reason being that these two, you know, values over here, they look alike. Okay, they look alike. So we can easily add them. 2x plus 3x. So far there's x over here and x over here, we can easily add. So 2x plus 3x will give us 5x. And then we have 2y plus y. And the answer is 3y. The reason being that 2y plus y. Now the y over here has an invisible one. You know, when a variable or a letter is standing on its own, you should bear in mind that there is an invisible number, and that number is what? 1. So the reason why we got 3y is because 2y plus y, the invisible one. So 2 plus 1, that invisible one, will give us 3, and you add the y to it, attached to it. So now when you look at this, let me explain 3y or 5x. Now 3 over here is the coefficient of y, and then the 5 over here is the coefficient of x. Okay, now we have a plus a. A plus a is 2a because there is an invisible or a hidden one. You cannot see it. Okay, it's not seen. So we don't normally say 1a, 1x, or what have you, but we normally mention only the variable. We don't mention 1 and then the variable. Okay, so this is what? A plus a, not 1a plus 1a. It is a plus a. So a plus a will give us what? 2a. Then we have 5 plus y. Now over here 5 plus y is still 5 plus y, simply because they don't look alike. There is no y over here and they don't look alike. Okay, there is no y over here to represent or to make, you know, the expression easier for us to add. So when you see items like this, you don't normally add them. Or when you see something like, let's say a plus b, they don't look alike. A is different from b, so you cannot add them. Okay, you cannot add them nor subtract them, but you can multiply. So if you have a times b is what? ab. You get it? A divided by b is what? A over what? B. I hope you are clear with it. Now let's move on. So here we can't add this expression because they don't look alike. Now we have a similar example over here to 2a plus b. It is still 2a plus b because they are different items altogether. Cannot add a and then b. I hope you are clear with it. Now let's move on to the next one. We have what? 6x minus 2x. 6x minus 2x over here is 4x because they look alike. There's x here and there's x here. So when you subtract, you get what? 4x. So 6 minus 2 is what? 4. And you just attach your x to it. So 4 over here is the coefficient of what? X. And then let's move on to the last one. We have what? 5y minus 3. You know, as you know, as the term goes, because they don't look alike, there's no y here, so it's still the same. Okay, there is y, we can easily subtract. Okay, so in this case, these two terms do not look alike, or they are not the same. Okay, now let's look at what we have over here. There are quite examples of algebraic expressions for perimeter of shape. So we said that the perimeter actually means the path or the distance or the boundary around a given two-dimensional shape. So as you can see, these are examples of two-dimensional shapes. Okay, they are made up of 2 dimensions, width and then length. Okay, so now we are going to find the perimeter of each of the following shapes. Now in perimeter, we are supposed to sum up all the, all the items, be it the variables and then the constants. Okay, when a number is standing on its own in algebraic expressions, it's known as constant. It's a constant term. Okay, and then this is a variable and a variable. So we have what? The length over here is 9, and the length here is 9 because they are the same length, so they must have the same value. You have C and then C. So in solving the perimeter of a given shape, perimeter is equal to C plus 9 plus 9. So C plus C. So we are in perimeter, we sum up all the items around the plane shape. So these are the items. Okay, so we have the variable as I said, and then the number. Okay, so C plus what? This C, and then plus 9 plus 9, as you can see over here. So as we learned previously, that when you are adding 2 items and they look alike, okay, you can easily add them. So as you can see, C is here, so you can easily add them, and there is an invisible one attached to them. So C plus C will give us 2C, and then 9 plus 9 is 18. So our final answer is 2C plus 18. Here we can't add further because they don't look alike. This 2C and a variable, a number, a constant term. Okay, this is a constant number. So 2C plus 18. Now let's move on to this a pentagon. Okay, it has 5 sides. Okay, so we have 8, K. So the perimeter is the solution for this. So the perimeter will be equal to K plus K plus K plus 8 plus 8. So the perimeter, you add or you sum up all the values around the shape. Okay, so we have K plus K plus K plus 8 plus 8. So K plus K will give us 2K plus K is 3K. So K plus K plus K, we have 3 K's over here. So to give us 3K plus 8 plus 8 will give us 16. So our final answer is 3K plus 16, as you can see over here. I believe you are clear with it. Good. Let's move on to our next example. That is example 3. I believe example 3. We have this plain shape or figure, and as we did in our previous examples, we do likewise here. So we have 5D. So you add so you group all the items that look alike at one side, as you did. So that you group all the items. So C and C, they look alike at one side, and then always make sure that the variables come first before the numbers. Okay, when you are adding, you understand? When you are adding, so we have how do you call it? So we have our 5D, we have 2D, we have D. We don't see 1D, so D. So you add those ones, so we group them. Because they look alike, so you group them at one side, and then we have a constant term, that is 5. So 5D plus 2D plus D plus D plus D, as you can see. So 5D plus 2D will give us 7D. Good. Plus D will give us 8D. Plus D 9D. Plus D 10D, as you can see, and then plus 5. So our final answer is 10D plus 5. Okay, let's look at our last example for today's lesson. This is a rectangle. Okay, so we have 3y, y, and then 15. So let's sum up. We are always summing up. Okay, in other words, we are adding all the items around the shape. Okay, that is the perimeter. So we have perimeter is equal to 3y. So we group like things. things or items that look alike. So we have what? 3y plus y plus 15. So 3y plus y, they look alike, so group them. And then the constant term, that is 15 over here. And that is 4. So 3y plus y will give us what? 4y. Okay? So 4y plus, then this is a constant term alone, so plus 15. So the final answer is what? 4y plus 15. I believe you are very clear with what we've just gone through. So on these notes, let's wrap up on what we've learned so far. We said that the perimeter is actually the path or the distance around a two-dimensional shape, and two-dimensional shapes are plane figures or shapes that have two dimensions, precisely length and then width. Okay, and mostly when you are solving for the perimeter of a solid shape, of a plane shape, you sum up all the numbers around that plane shape. I hope you are clear with it. So without much ado, we call it a day for today's lesson. I wish you guys all the very best, and please don't forget to comply to the various precautionary measures so as we can still live peacefully and live healthy in our various communities or wherever we find ourselves. Stay blessed. Bye bye.